very keen not to indoctrinate children with atheism any more than they should be indoctrinated with religion. I think one of the most wicked things you can do to a child is to tell the child, you are a Christian child, you are a Muslim child, you are a Catholic child, or you are a Presbyterian child, whatever it might be. The child is too young to know. A child is too young to be a Catholic or a Muslim or a Protestant. Let the child grow up and decide for herself whether she wants to believe those things. If ever you hear somebody saying, that is a Catholic child, or that is a Protestant child, or that is a Muslim child, you should wince. It's consciousness-raising in the same kind of way as the feminists raised our consciousness. I don't know how it works in Portuguese, but in the English-speaking world, feminists have taught us, remarkably successfully, not to use the word man when we mean human, not to use the word he when we might mean she. It's very difficult to do in English, and it's probably even harder to do in more gendered languages. But the feminists have succeeded in raising. We hear the future of man, we kind of wince, we kind of draw back and think that's wrong, we shouldn't say that. And in exactly the same way, I would like everyone here to wince when they hear somebody talking about a Catholic child. There is no such thing as a Catholic child. There is a child of Catholic parents.
Well, touch upon another area of your work that some people might not be familiar with. Perhaps you can tell us about the importance of, in the context of science, the importance of poetry and literature.
I love poetry. I love language. I read poetry. I know a lot of poetry by heart. I don't really understand, although I love it, I don't quite understand what poetry is. I don't understand why it works. I'm haunted by it. It gives me goose pimples. It gives me shivers up the spine. But I still don't really quite understand it. I do think, and I've written a book about this called Unweaving the Rainbow. Perhaps the translator knows how that's actually translated into Portuguese. It may not be exactly the same. I'm sure that, that the word rainbow comes into it somewhere. That book, Unweaving the Rainbow, is my attempt to unite poetry and science, and to advocate science as a worthy, more than worthy, subject for poets, one that I feel poets have neglected. Of course, love is a great theme for poetry, and even religion is a great theme for poetry, but science might be an even greater one, and one that hasn't been really exploited by poets.
No próximo programa, Dawkins fala da morte, do gênio egoísta e da evolução das espécies segundo Charles Darwin, que publicou sua teoria há exatos 150 anos.
I think that The Origin of Species is very unusual in a pioneering book. It is very easy to understand. It's written in Victorian English, which is a little bit more long-winded than we're used to today. But the moment you open it, you realize that Darwin was really, really trying to be understood. He wanted to be understood by ordinary people.
Se você quiser comentar ou saber mais sobre os bastidores do programa de hoje, entre no blog do Milênio no site da Globo News.